Hello and welcome to Totally Rovers, a Blackburn Rovers podcast by fans of the Blue White Halves. On the pod this week, I've got myself Luke, and then we've got Liam. So how are
Hello,
you
there.
doing today?
I'm not doing so badly. Have you seen my new little? We've been dying for me to get
That is
some
pretty
Rovers
cool.
related stuff on my walls. Well, I've got myself a little projector where I can put any image I want on the wall.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. For those that are watching, listening, sorry, Liam has got a little projector so he can put like Rovers like related stuff on the background when we're talking on the pod. Now,
So I've
it's a
got
complete
picture of Ewood
contrast to me
Park.
though, unfortunately, because like I have got virtually nothing now because
Yeah,
I am on the process of moving house. But
yeah,
behind me, of course, is the 94-95 shirt behind me,
very nice.
hung up.
Mickey Wins lager.
Yeah, Mickey Wins Lager, the classic one. And of
Oh, yeah.
course, there's the scarf round the rod of a microphone as well. So
Yeah. And I've got Ewood in
that's
the
that. So
background.
yeah, the beautiful stadium that Eagle Park is,
But yeah,
despite
a
how
beautiful
empty it is
stadium.
on certain yeah, despite how empty it is on match days. Um, anyway, on the pod this week, we're going to be covering 3 games since our last pod. We've got the home game against QPR, the away game against Wrexham, and then last but not least is the controversial replay against Ipswich Town. So it's been a bit of a tough pill to swallow with Rovers concerned, hasn't it, over these past 3 games?
Very much
So
has.
yeah, so we're gonna get stuck in. Let's start with the QPR game,
Mm,
which wasn't the best of games, was it? I mean, it finished 1-0 with Rovers on the losing side um, at home to QPR. Um, what was your taking of the game, Liam, when got beat by QPR?
I just felt we lacked that cutting edge at the end of it, and it came back to bite us in the backside, really, didn't it? It was just a game where I just felt like, especially when we coming off a good result, it just felt like we were a little bit toothless.
Yeah, I think that was part of the problem as well, weren't it, with how Rovers went. I mean, the atmosphere at Ewood Park was so flat. It was
Yeah.
really poor. I don't think it helped with the performance either. I mean, they were slow to start. They didn't hit the ground running.
Hmm.
It was a very, very scrappy game. It was very uneventful. Um, like I said on that short, it was not one for a neutral at all. Neutrals would have hated that sort of game. It's not a
Yeah.
pretty game of football at all to watch. Um, but it was just like that urgency and that desire, which is
Yeah.
quite surprising, really, because we were on the back end of a good win against Preston North End, you
Exactly.
know, the weekend before that, which is even more surprising. But
Ooh,
I
sorry.
think one of our downfalls, of course, was Ishmael's team selection. With Tronstad out injured now, I mean, that's a big blow for us with Tronstad going
It is.
out of action at midfield. And he started Taylor Gordon Hitman and Christian Montgomery. I think the problem there was our midfield, though,
Yeah.
throughout the game. And it just looked like that neither of them took charge and what they do in the midfield. None of them was taking lead, wasn't they, in that midfield from what I saw between Montgomery and Garner Hitman, which I
Hmm.
think was a downfall for us. Another thing as well, when in possession, we was just sort of sloppy. We were sort of sloppy with the ball. Passes were either too light or too heavy. There was little to no composure in possession. I
We
think we
looked
were a
so
bit,
different to the game against Preston, I thought. So different.
yeah, yeah. You wouldn't think this is the same team that beat Preston North End. Tronstad and no Tronstad in that midfield,
Yeah.
and we just we just like short of ideas as well when it comes to breaking down QPR and trying to pick out them passes as well. So I mean, it was quite frustrating to watch the game. We were passing sideways and passing backwards more than anything. And the
Yeah.
fact that we had Ryan Hedges and Alabiosu out on the wide flanks, you know, we didn't play to our strengths there, out
Yeah.
wide.
I
And that was
agree.
quite frustrating to see as well. I mean, we had one or two chances. Andrew Johnson was quite unlucky actually to hit the post in the first half. and then there was another one where it was saved. But there really wasn't much between Rovers and QPR. I mean, at the game, I thought this screams 0-0 throughout.
I expected a
I,
0-0, to be fair, the way it was
I
going.
couldn't the way the game went. I just couldn't see goal at all. But Wally and Stephen, QPR's manager, made the changes about the hour mark. Was Ishmael just sort of like pondering on like what changes to make to impact the game, which I thought was like. But when he made them changes, they didn't make an impact at all. I mean,
No,
taking off Johnson for Gay when we need a goal, I didn't think that was the best option for
no,
us.
I
And then
agree.
put on like he just sort of like changes for change's sake when Tavares and Baraji came on, when and Forshaw came on as well. I mean, Forshaw did help compose midfield a little bit, but it was quite late into the game.
He was late into the
The
game, but
changes,
he's. We'll come on to him in a little bit, but I think he's been a decent asset to us while Transfer's been injured recently.
yeah, it has, and we'll definitely talk about Forshaw like later on. But like we just sat back and sat deep, and like the pressure was just like we're sort of inviting pressure into the game as well. And obviously QPR with Illich Chair, one of QPR's key players, sees that opportunity where Paul Smythe could get the space and jump into air and header the ball into net. And then we didn't look like we were going to get an equaliser at all. Just
No,
virtually no end product at all. And then inevitably the game ended with a 1-0 defeat at home, which was real frustrating. I think the manner that we played and the manner that we lost was just very, very frustrating. I don't think I've ever been so disappointed in Rovers this season until that game against QPR, particularly where home games is concerned. I think that's the worst home fixture, one of the worst home fixtures this season. And
it wasn't
I've been
good.
great at home. It wasn't good at all.
Not the greatest talking points in the game. Like I say, we were just sloppy with our passing. We lacked any killer instinct, or it seemed to be that way. There was just no cutting edge to the game for us. And like you say, they made changes which seemed to benefit. They got the goal, but it was that even that goal didn't seem like it was going to come. But when they scored that goal, I still didn't see any way back for us. It just seemed to
No,
lack anything.
QPR quite happy to shut up shot, and we just didn't seem to like. I think what was also frustrating was that we weren't willing to run at them as well.
Which is not like us
Which,
because we've been very much in teams' faces this season.
yeah, well, away from home anyway.
Mm.
Definitely when we're away from home. But that we'll talk about our own form and away form later. But yeah, it was just very disappointing and how it all ended. It went down like a lead balloon, basically.
Yeah,
So, right, we're on the road to Wrexham, weren't we? Onto Racecourse Ground.
yeah.
Um,
I was quite
I
optimistic
wasn't.
as well.
You were optimistic after that defeat against QPR. Oh, well, is that because of our
I
away
thought
form?
because of our away form, and I thought they'll have got a bit of a dressing down. I thought they'll bounce back here. I think they'll bounce back and they'll have a good result. And to be fair, I mean, I know you're going to discuss the game and all that lot in a minute, but to be fair, I felt like we were the better team throughout majority of the game. And I'll come on to the ending of the game with you later on, but it was a disappointing way for it to end because I think we deserved the 3 points personally.
Yeah,
But
a draw. A draw is no less than what we deserved anyway. I
absolutely,
mean, before the ball was kicked, I wasn't sure. Now I thought this is a Wrexham team that have been well backed
yeah,
financially and whatnot. Um, they've got a good set of players. I mean, they nicked one of our best players, didn't they?
yeah,
On deadline day with Dom Hyam going over there.
exactly.
But like they've got some good players in their set in their team. Kiefer Moore, Lewis O'Brien, Josh Windass, to name some. And
Hmm.
I thought with our list of injuries as well, with Tronstead out, now Christian Montgomery out. On top of that, on top of the other absentees, thought I'm not sure what to expect at the racecourse ground. And given their home form as well, I think they've got the longest unbeaten run in the championship at the moment as well. So that was another thing I factored in as well.
Yeah.
So I wasn't expecting anything against Wrexham with the way the game ended against QPR. But much to my surprise and delight, they played so much better. They started brightly, off on front foot, hit the ground running, and we rewarded that performance with a nice goal. Quite early into the game with Ryan Albiol's cross into Andrew Johnson and head it into net. I mean, he's on fine form at the moment, Andrew Johnson as well,
He's in good
with his
form.
goals that he's been when his goals have been netted up for Rovers. But and we continue playing throughout. I think we ran Wrexham, we ran them ragged, throughout in the game.
I felt like we dominated majority of the game. I didn't feel like, as the game was going on, I didn't feel like we were the ones in danger of conceding. Put it that way.
No, we did have some crucial moments though to keep us in the game and staying ahead. I mean, Ainsley Pears did like a crucial save,
Yeah.
and George Pratt did a crucial clearance. What was also quite impressive with Rovers as well against Wrexham was that we managed to keep the likes of Lewis O'Brien quiet in midfield. And I think that helps largely in fact that Adam Forshaw was there in midfield. He was that experienced head, that calm and steady player. Whereas Garner Hickman was like the engine in the room, but did sort of look like he runs around like a hellish chicken. He thrives in a more chaotic environment, does Garner Hickman. And then of course we had Albiol soon Hedges out on the wide flanks. I mean, our back line looks a lot more settled actually since George Pratt has come into the
He's looking
come
comfortable
into
there.
first team. Yeah, he looks to be thriving and enjoying it, doesn't he?
Yeah.
At the moment. But there were chances, created throughout. I thought Murray a quite a good game, Murray Sheeter.
He's
And then
proven himself to be quite the asset in that attacking midfield spot.
yeah, I mean Ohashi had a couple of chances, but he's just a bit toothless on the final third lately, which has been quite a source of frustration for
It is frustrating.
when we're on the final third.
He works
Because
his socks off as well.
oh yeah, don't get me wrong, he does. But the problem with Ohashi is when he's like, pressing a little front third on the final third and into the box, he likes to try and be a bit. He's a bit of he strikes me as a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to having attempts on goal. Like some players, they'll try and scruff it in sometimes, with a header or even
Yeah.
pelt the ball in, from outside box. Whereas Oashi's a bit more. No, let's try and tap it. Let's get like the neatest finish as I can, be as neat as
Yeah.
possible, sort of thing. Sometimes you just got to pelt it, you know. And I think his decision making sometimes a bit hesitant on his decision making. I've seen as well into the final
I think
third
he's lacking a bit of
as well.
confidence in front of goal, though.
Well, that could be the case, but I think
Unfortunately.
once he starts, I mean, he does want to score goals. You can see that. I
Yeah.
think that frustration's there on Ash's part as well. And I think he wants to try and be as good as Andrew Johnson for scoring the goals. I don't think Ohash's natural instinct for goals. He's one of them players who has to work at it, work
Yeah.
at his finishing compared to Good Johnson. I think Good Johnson, it just comes natural to him. That's where I see it with the goals. Like Good Johnson knows where to be, doesn't he? He
He does.
knows when to shoot and when to make them attacking moves as
He
well.
seems to be able
Whereas
to put
Ohashi,
himself in the right place at the right time.
yeah, that's exactly what it is. I think Ohashi doesn't seem to have that striker instinct. I mean, as an attacking player, when it comes to pressing, taking on players and making them passes, he's good. But when it comes to his finishing, I think that's where he comes up short. And that's where
It's a
I
shame
think the
because he's such a
frustration
good
lies with
asset
him
to
as
us.
well. Yeah, he's been great for us, to be fair, though. I
Oh,
mean, he played well against Wrexham. But of course, the changes were made, weren't there? I mean,
yeah.
that Dion Deneve, when he came on for Ryan Hedges, he frustrated me a bit. I mean, I don't like singling out players, but he was a little bit exposed. He left the back line a bit exposed at the back. I mean, he left Ryan Hedges
Yeah.
exposed, didn't he? Which contributed to us in that free kick. And I mean, that
Exactly.
wasn't a free kick at all, was it? In injury time, that was just absolutely ridiculous from the
I don't think it
refs
was a
and
free kick either,
officials
but
on
there you go.
deciding that. I don't understand why they made that decision at all. Because Ryan Hedges, it's not like he elbowed or pushed the opponent out the way to get the ball. Because he didn't. He just used his body, didn't he? to get the
Yeah,
ball, and he got penalised for it. Then inevitably that set piece was converted to a goal for Wrexham at the 95th minute when we were seconds away from getting 3 points, which was a bit of a sucker punch, to be honest. But, having said that, before the ball was kicked, when we got our list of injured players, the key players that are out absent, going away from home against an informed Wrexham side who are solid at home on a long unbeaten run, and this is the same side that beat Coventry on their own patch as well.
yeah.
If I was told I'd taken a point, I'd go, yeah, all right then, I'd taken that. So, what was your assessment of the Wrexham game?
Personally, I felt like we were the better team for the majority of the game. And like you said, the late changes, I was hoping that they'd be able to help see the game out. And like you said, Deneve was a little bit disappointed when he came on. As you said as well, the free kick disappointing. Because I agree, I don't think that was a free kick at all. But there you go. I felt we were a little bit hard done by there. Um, on the whole of it, on the cusp of it, I do feel getting a point away at Wrexham's not a bad result, but the way we control majority of the game, I felt we deserved the 3 points personally.
Yeah, it was 2 points dropped rather than 1 point gained, and
Yeah, that's how I
general
saw it.
scheme of things. Yeah, and that's how I felt as well. I felt like, oh god, we were so close, and then the rug was just thrown
94th minute,
right
weren't it?
under our feet. Yeah, 95th minute it was actually. But
95th, sorry. Yeah.
when you're in that position, we allowed ourselves to get so deep as well.
Yeah.
Why didn't Ishmael put on I don't know, if he was going to take Hedges off and have you know keep Hedges on, I would have put Harry Pickering on a Rivero just for that a bit more defensive stability, just to see the game out. But I know they changed it a little bit because Deneve was more of a forward, really, rather than a wing back. But if you're going to be a bit more defensively minded, I would have put Ribeiro on and Pickering and put
I
Hedges a
get what
bit
you're
further
saying.
forward.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
That's what I would have
I
done.
think he was trying to think if I think they were. I think he was trying to think get the attacker players on, maybe to try and push the ball forward and keep the ball in their half, so they're not under as much pressure. When you bring extra defenders on, you're inviting more pressure because you're playing defensive players rather than attacking players. And I think
Yeah,
that
so
might
I
have been his
suppose
thought process.
yeah, but we don't have much options in defensive, do we? We can't
No,
really rotate defensively. We're very much out of options there. Midfield, we're a bit out. We've not got many options. I mean, Baraji played all right though. To be fair, he had a bit more
I'm
urgency on him from what I saw against Wrexham compared to the game against QPR and against North End. I thought he's hopefully picking up a bit more pace and have a bit more
I think
tempo on
he
him.
needs the minutes though because like you say he's barely played. He's been out of
Yeah,
injury. Yeah, there's a bit of hype with him, but he needs time to bed in. He never really got much of a
yeah,
pre-season. He got some pre-season, but then got injured before the season started, and he's not had
yeah.
time to
That's true.
get up and running with the team. So he's playing catch up. So and then he's only
Yeah,
getting like these few sub appearances. He's only getting little bits of spells here and there. So with
mm.
the little time he's got to play, you've got to give him that benefit that he may come good over time.
Yeah, that's true. But he still looks a little bit laid back for my liking, though.
No, fair enough.
That's my only gripe I have with Musa Braji. But I do see quality there. I do see he's got something in his locker when it comes to
Yeah,
picking up them passes, finding them pockets of space, knowing where to be. He can read the game quite well from what I've seen so far. But
he's not going to take the ball forward either.
yeah, exactly. He's not scared to
We
take the
saw
ball
that against
forward, which
Preston
was
when they got away with not getting a red card when he got taken clean
yeah.
out.
Oh yeah, definitely. Transtar was fuming when in that game.
Oh yeah,
But that's the Wrexham game. I think summed up really, isn't there? There's
yeah. There's
a bit of
a
a sucker
disappointing
punch.
point really. It was 2 points dropped rather than 1 point gained. But yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're very unlucky not to leave North Wales with 3 points. And it was a
exactly.
very good performance. We definitely deserved to get something. Just didn't have the rub of the green,
No,
on that day, which I'd say is the case against Ipswich Town as well, which we'll go to now. Sorry, and that was the game that was controversial replay due to a game abandoned after the torrential rainfall in
Despite
autumn
being 1-0 up,
earlier
80th
on in the
minute, and
season.
then being down 10 men. But there you go.
Yeah,
Let's not
exactly.
let's not complain anymore about that one, shall we?
No, no, but at least we didn't lose though. You know, I mean, at the time before that, after that game, I thought, right, we've got Ipswich now. This is going to be a tough game.
I
You know,
actually
they're
thought I
starting
was actually
to.
worried. I was actually worried about the outcome being a loss. I thought we had it in us to beat them, but I was actually worried about with our home form and with the fact of what happened the last time round, with how we were robbed of a victory against them. I thought this could play on the players and it could really affect them. And I was just worried that they might come away with the 3 points and then they'd be going back to East Anglia, laughing a little heads off, and thinking they've got one over on us after what's happened. But I was pleasantly surprised. I felt like we were at them from the off. I personally think it one of our best games at Ewood, if not our best game for certain at home. One of our best games this season,
Yeah.
but definitely one of our best
Mm,
games at home. Um, I felt we controlled the game. I felt like we looked like we were sharp. We looked like we were creating things. I didn't really see much from them in terms of they had the odd little chance, but on the whole, I felt like we were very much commanding the game.
yeah.
I don't know what your
They,
thought
they kept,
process on it was.
my thought process on it was that this is probably the best performance at Eel Park this season. I mean, even the game that got abandoned, Rovers started really brightly, didn't he, as well against
Yeah,
Ipswich? But I was a little bit apprehensive for this. I know Ipswich are on the back end of a, excuse me, they're on the back end of a 2-1 defeat against
yeah,
Oxford away from home. I thought, yeah, we're at Eel Park though. Our own form has been terrible this season, and I thought Ipswich might be like rubbing their hands, going, right, this is the best time probably to play Blackburn. They're awful at
yeah,
home. This is our. We had a get out of jail card with the game being abandoned and replayed. Um,
exactly.
but they didn't play as well as I thought they would. I thought Ipswich sort of run ragged, weren't they? Throughout
They
with
just
our
they
pace
just
and our
looked they
pressing.
just looked completely taken out by our pressing play, by our attacking play. They just did not look with it. They had
Yeah,
quite a few yellow cards in the first half.
yeah,
One of which a couple of which we'll come on to shortly, but um, yeah, quite a few yellow cards, and that was because they couldn't contain us. They were trying to do the dark arts and take our players out early on in the game to stop us breaking through
yeah,
and getting the goal. And I
yeah,
just generally thought we played really well.
yeah. We played really well. Like our pace and our pressing, we were relentless, weren't we? Their energy levels were high. There was that
Yeah,
intensity, but it was like the more as the game went on, the more Ipswich got frustrated and rattled, didn't they? Throughout, I mean,
yeah,
Kieran McKenna made some changes quite early on in the second half, didn't he? Throughout,
yeah,
I mean, Ishmael made some changes, but I don't think the changes were anywhere near as bad as they were, like say against QPR, for example.
yeah,
I don't think Wrexham's were that bad, but the changes had to be made just to keep the players fresh for Tuesday's
yeah.
game.
It was
But
more game management. The changes in this game was more
yeah,
game management than anything.
yeah, I thought it was more of a game management thing, which I think is
But
good on Ishmael's part.
Morishita being played through
Oh yeah, when
um,
he was 1-on-1.
when he were 1-on-1. Um, okay, it wasn't a lot, but he still nudged him in the back to knock him off his stride. Morishita went down. Okay, yes, he went down easily, but he was through 1-on-1, and he
Yeah,
had the pace. He had the pace, and they knew he had the pace. That's why they did it. They did it to try and put him off so they could get back. So he went down. The guy got a yellow card, but he was through on goal, 1-on-1 with the keeper. Uh,
that's the 9
any,
goals.
if that had been in the Premier League with VAR, red card all day long. Any other
Yeah,
game, and it's probably red card. And the referee pulled out a yellow and gave me a yellow. And all the commentary team in the studio, when they did the halftime analysis, they all said the same thing. How is he still on the pitch? How is he still on the pitch?
it's
The referee had a
mind-boggling, isn't
shocker
it, as
there.
well?
Yeah. They
Yeah,
were all saying the ref had
100%.
a shocker there. But then
Yeah,
it wasn't the
it's
only time that
mind-boggling.
happened. Lewis Miller played a very clever one where our guy, he wasn't through on goal, but our guy was making a counter attack and he was brought past him. And rather than let us get an opportunity to get a counter attack, he just took him out, made sure he weren't getting past the halfway line, and that
Mm.
was that. So he picked
No,
up a yellow card, and there were a couple of instances like that.
yeah, there
Three
was that other
three
one
of
with
their
Leif
defenders ended up on
Davis.
yellow cards.
Yeah, yeah. There was that other one with Leif Davis as well. I mean, he already got booked. He's already booked at the time.
But this is what I'm on
And then
about. The Leeds Davis
and
one.
he grappled Mac to Gay, didn't he, as well?
But that
When
was
he had
late
the
on in the
ball.
that was late on in the
That was
game
late on
where
in game. I was like, how was that like advantage played on? How could
yeah.
referee say no play on? You don't
So he
grapple a
was already on
player.
a yellow card, and the referee let it go because he knew full well if he stopped the play, he had to book him, and the referee was off. It was simple as that. The referee
Yeah,
wanted to give him a red card,
yeah.
but it
Oh,
was a
it's ridiculous.
blatant foul, and a blatant yellow card. He grappled him and pulled him down.
Yeah, and going back to what
And
you said about Morishita, which I'm meaning to say as well, like he 1-on-1, denying him that goal scoring opportunity as well, which
yeah,
more reason it should have been a red as well. It's
yeah,
not different to when Sean McLaughlin got sent off when we played Norwich, when he did that challenging Josh
exactly.
Sargent.
It was exactly the same instance.
It's a similar scenario. Okay,
Yeah,
it's a little bit further pitch, but it's still 1-on-1. It's a goal scoring opportunity for
exactly.
Morishita.
And Morishita had the pace
Oh,
to outdo him. Morishita was
yeah,
beating him with
yeah,
pace, and
yeah,
everybody knew that. That's why he did it
yeah,
because he knew full well Morishita had him for pace. But the other
yeah,
thing as well was late on in the second half as well. There was a penalty shot as well that we never got, and that was a blatant penalty.
yeah,
It
yeah.
just
And
seemed
there
to
was
get
that other,
no decent officiated throughout the game. It wasn't consistent at all. There was quite a lot of mistakes made by the officials, and I don't like to blame officials because I mean, don't get me wrong, um, we should have seen the game out anyway. We were the better team
yeah,
by far. They didn't offer anything all game, um,
mm.
but the
Just
officiating
quality in
let
it
us,
that saw him out.
yeah, gonna
It's
say,
just quality that saw him. Yeah,
yeah, the officiating
it's
let
just
us down.
Yeah, they did. The very poor decision making. There were no consistency.
Possible two
But
reds and a penalty.
yeah, but also with Ipswich was they didn't play well at all. They were very
No,
poor. They're very below par. I didn't think this was a game that's just come down from the Premier League playing against us.
yeah,
You know, we need to look at the bench that they had as well and the quality and being in receipt of parachute payments. They were practically run ragged. And given how many injured players that we've had as well, you
yeah,
know, well, still got, sorry, out of action. However, one welcome return is Todd Cantwell, you know,
oh yeah,
because I think you know, he made the difference, didn't he? He made a positive impact. I mean, that set piece goal and he took the corner. Was it
yeah.
McLaughlin who got ahead to it and then Good
I
Johnson
think
ran from
McLaughlin got the
behind and got
touch
his
on
head
it
into the
first,
air?
and good Johnson was there to knock it in with his head. It was
Yeah,
a cracking,
it was
cracking ball in.
it was a similar sort of set piece to was it against North End?
Was it?
Was it
Was
when?
it?
Oh no, it weren't North End. Was it Leicester?
Might be
I
less.
think
Was it
where he
Miller?
got into some. Yeah, that was Miller's way in it set piece, but we seem to be
Same
getting
sort of
better at
goal
set
though.
pieces as well. It was a great set piece though as well. From that goal. Thought when Catmull came on, you could see the difference in quality
Oh
that
yeah,
was added to that midfield and onto
you
the
can see the
attack
difference
as
in
well.
quality. I would like to see if him and Morishita could be played in the same lineup together. Because I think Morishita gives us that energy going forward and the pace,
Yeah.
and he's got a good eye for a pass. Whereas Campbell, his creative eye is just phenomenal. And I think if you could
Do
have
you
them
think?
two both in the same team, maybe Morishita playing out on the right, maybe it's just an idea.
Yeah. But who would you play alongside Cantwell though if he plays further behind? Because I'm not convinced of Taylor Gardner Hitman played alongside Campbell. I
No,
don't
I'm
think
not.
that'd work.
I'm not.
I
And
think I'd have
that's the worry we have.
I think I'd have
Unless you drop
Forshaw and
Hashi
Yeah, that might be the case. You might have to drop Owashi.
or
And then
Hashi
what? With that
Morishita
Morishita?
play there and Campbell just behind.
Yeah. What Morishita behind and then Catmull forward?
And then you
Or the
could have
other
a
way
Hashi
around,
coming on
actually.
later on to do all the running and leg work when their defense is tired and pressing and all that lot. Like the little terrier you can be.
Yeah.
Might be an
Yeah, yeah.
idea.
Yeah, that could be worth trying. But
But
one thing I've not seen yet is Gay and Good Johnson playing together.
no.
Ishmael doesn't seem to do that, does he? It's either Owashi plays with one or other. Not swap it around to see how it all goes. But
Yeah.
I think, to be honest, I think Gay's footwork is nowhere near as good as Oash's,
No,
which is why I don't think there'd be a good link-up play between him and Good Johnson, though, to be honest.
equaliser for Ipswich.
Yeah.
Again, 94th minute, last attack of the game. And all we had to do was keep the ball up that end of the pitch. And I was actually rather disappointed in Maktar. I actually was quite annoyed at him because when they got that last attack, he didn't even once try and he did try to trap back, didn't try to help out. It just looked like he wasn't that
Isolated on
bothered.
his own, wasn't he?
Yeah,
No,
he looked
he
like
was
he
up
wasn't
front
that bothered.
isolated on his own, didn't he?
Yeah, but he could have
Do
helped
you
come back
think...
and help try and just get the ball
Oh,
away.
yeah. Yeah. I think his body language tells me that, like, I don't belong here.
He
Why should
wants
I
to. You can see
try?
he wants to,
I
but
know he wants. I know
he's
he
kind of
wants to.
accepting that he's. I think he's already started to accept that he's probably not going to get the minutes that he'd like to, and that's probably why he had the little moment at the end of the game where he just didn't bother coming back to help because he thought, well, you know what, I'll stay forward just in case the ball gets hoofed up the field again and I can maybe run onto it. But he should have been back helping the
Yeah.
team there. It was a position where we needed every man back to try and just help keep the ball away from goal. He didn't come track back. He didn't come back, and it cost us. It wasn't just his fault, obviously. Some
No.
lackluster defending, but you attack as a team, you defend as a team, and it just annoyed me a little bit that he didn't track back.
Yeah, he wasn't the only offender in that. Deneve did it again as well
Oh yeah,
when
Deneve was
Edges
another
just
one
took
for
off
it. It was
too far forward. Like he ran up with the ball, didn't even look to see if there was any players running alongside him when he was
yeah,
dribbling with the ball, and then just made a cross, not looking to see if there was anybody in the box, which cheaply gave the
yeah,
ball away. And
exactly.
then we were,
If there's
and
nobody to cross, you take it to the corner, hold it up, keep
yeah,
the ball in their end of the pitch. Maybe you win a throw in, win a corner, run down the clock.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
absolutely, yeah. That was
They're all happy to
frustrating
play.
as
They're all
well.
happy to play the dark arts or the dirty fouls when we're breaking through. Why not us play the dark arts of running down the clock? Why do we have to try and bloody pick out some silly pass and give the ball away so they can have another attack?
Yeah, exactly. We
It,
cheaply
it,
gave
it,
the
it,
ball away
it,
as well.
it's them sort of frustrating moments that gets you because you don't feel like you deserve to lose the game or lose the 2 points because at the end of the day, I thought we were that was one of our most deserving games where we deserved 3 points and yet we came away with a point.
Yeah, that was the best
That was the
performance.
biggest case of 2 points dropped for me of all the games we've
Yeah,
played where we dropped points.
I think it was worse than Wrexham's because there wasn't a decision like so late on into the game that went against us.
Yeah.
To be fair to Ipswich, it was that quality win of their squad. There's just quality that helped them grab that point,
Thing
and
is, though, they shouldn't
they
have had
picked
10 men.
out an
They shouldn't have had
intelligent.
11 men on the pitch, but that's another story.
No, they shouldn't.
I
No, they
can
shouldn't. No,
I can whinge about the officials all night long, but it's not going to get us anywhere, and it's not going to stop us
no,
having just a point and not three. So it's pointless going down that road. However,
and it's quite.
we need
It's
to be
quite.
seeing out games.
Yeah, and it's quite worrying that we're having lapses of concentration as well so late into the game.
Yeah,
Our heads shop off, don't they? Like
2 last-minute goals in
injury
two
time.
games to lose us
Well,
4 points. We should have been getting 6 points this past week in the space of what 4 or 5 days. Should have been getting 6 points, not two.
well, we could potentially have got 7. Really, if the QPR game,
Well, yeah, the QPR. I wasn't
was
looking down
really
at
the
the
draw
QPR
would have
game, but
been
you're right.
a draw would have been a fair result against QPR, but it's just them
Yeah,
lapses of concentration in it that's dropping us points as well. It's the most frustrating
exactly.
thing as well with Rovers right now, is that we're conceding goals so late into the game. Other teams are going to pick that up now, going right. You know, this is where they get leggy. This is where
Yeah,
they're a bit.
we can kill them off here.
Yeah, we can like catch them out here, and we need to be more alert, like on the last,
Yeah,
the
we need to
killing
be a bit more
stages of the
ruthless as well
game.
and kill games off. I mean, I
Yeah,
know things are going our favour, but we had our chances to kill the game off.
yeah. Also against Ipswich, we had, you know, our chances as well to score. We just weren't
Exactly.
ruthless enough on that final third. And this will leads me back to when I talked about Oashi as well, like against Wrexham. It's exactly the same against Ipswich as well. You
Yeah,
know, taking that one touch too many, a bit hesitant with his decision making, going into the box and on the final third. and he's wanting to make that really picture perfect shot and goal. You can't really do that sometimes in Championship. You just got to be
Yeah,
ruthless, a bit more ruthless, and just pelt the ball in sometimes and have a go. Be a bit braver with your decision making and having shots on goal.
yeah,
That's something I've noticed with Owashi. And I think Morishita is the same as well when it comes to that as well. He wants to have that picture perfect, neat finishes. And when you get goals in the Championship, they don't have to be neat. Sometimes it's
no,
better with just a pelting header, a rocket shot, or even a scrappy set piece header, or even, you know what, all of it, anything it takes to get that ball in the net. And I
exactly.
just think they're not looking at different ways of doing it, or it looks like it anyway, and it feels like it from where I'm sitting with Yuki Owashi and Mauro Morishita. But there does need to be more goal contributions from other players because I feel
Yeah,
like I'm quite concerned that we're going to be quite overly reliant on Andrew Johnson now with the form that he's on for goals. It's like, say, if he happens to get injured or suspended, we're going to struggle for goals
yeah,
as well.
exactly.
That's something to factor in as well because I don't want to be that player who's super reliant on one goal scorer. We've had that in the past, haven't we? Like Jordan Rose, for example, when we had him, we were just relying on him for goals at one point.
Well,
And I think we
it
did
was
that
him
with
and
Danny
Gestead,
Graham, didn't
though.
we, as well?
So Danny Graham was
Well,
one. Smodic was another. We relied on Smodic's
yeah,
goals.
Smodic's definitely
Armstrong,
another one.
Adam Armstrong, another one.
Brereton Diaz as
Perez and
well.
Diaz. Players
This
that we
season,
relied
far
on
showing.
far too, and we need to be able to rely more on players around the team rather than just one player.
Yeah, absolutely. And, that probably reiterates the point that we probably need another striker in January. If Gay
Possibly,
goes and replace, get a good
yeah.
replacement.
Gay goes and get a replacement, and I wouldn't have an issue with that. However, I do think defence is the area we need to cover more than anything at the moment.
Yeah, I would say that's the biggest priority right now. Is just tighten up that back
Personally,
line and have some championship
yeah,
experience. I think maybe an experienced midfielder in as well, like line up to replace Tronstad, for example,
yeah,
or even Forshaw if Forshaw doesn't stay beyond the end
yeah.
of
Because I
this
can see
season.
Forshaw getting close to the end of his career now, so therefore he might not want to do another season at Rovers.
The club might not do it because of his age as well.
Yeah,
They're a bit funny about having older players, aren't they, on the books as well.
this is true.
Yeah, we're was it 4 points above the drop now, and we're still 18th. I mean, we could have got 7 points ideally, couldn't we? Had we not conceded them late goals.
It's
You
Chef
know,
Wednesday next
two
as well,
wins
isn't
and
it?
one draw. Yeah, Sheffield Wednesday at home.
It's a big
I
one
don't.
that we need
I,
to be winning that one.
yeah, I'm under no illusion it's going to be an easy game now because
Oh, it won't be an easy game. They're
Wednesday,
desperately fighting for every point they can get. It won't be an easy game, but they're at the moment they're the sort of team that you need to be making sure you get points against.
yeah, 100%. We're coming to the point where it's going to be the busiest end of the season as well,
Yeah,
where it's not so much performances, it's more about results, and
yeah.
that's more important now. It's becoming more and more important. It's
No,
more
I agree.
important that we actually go. And obviously, we've got another home game against Oxford, so that's going to be
That's
a
another
tough
game
one.
that we
That's a six
should be
point,
hoping to get points off.
and that's a 6 pointer, and they're
Yeah.
not good away from home. But I know Gary Rowett is going to play a very difficult team to break down, and
Oh
we
yeah.
seem to be frustrated against teams that are difficult to break down
Yeah.
in the championship, particularly at home anyway. And we need to be. I mean, Campbell's back, which is which is a big bonus for
Welcome
us,
return. Yeah.
and that could definitely be helped with the game against Wednesday this weekend.
McLaughlin. He's
Yeah,
in Wharton's absence and that lot. He's taken on that leadership role at the back. He's having a phenomenal time at the moment. He looks so
I think.
comfortable at the back. He looks good for us. I'm confident as it with him in our defence. Put that way.
Yeah, he's grown on it throughout. I think he's quite
Absolutely.
good at
He's
commanding that
thriving at the moment in
defense.
that position. I think he's really enjoying his footballer.
I think he's enjoying having George Pratt on his side as well because Sean
Yeah.
McLaughlin isn't a tall lad, is he? Whereas
No.
Lewis Miller and George Pratt beside him, they're both
Yeah.
big lads, aren't they? They're both big, strong lads
Yeah.
that help have that solidity in defence. And obviously, the back line is helped with Alabiosa and Hedges on the wide flanks to help protect them as well. I think that back line is looking quite relatively settled throughout as
I
well,
would agree.
despite us conceding the late goals. But it's quite frustrating that we don't have many options to rotate in terms of defensive duties, though. At the moment, with Wharton and Carter injured, which really doesn't help. And yeah, I thought Sean McLaughlin did all right. And I tell you what else has done well when it comes to providing cover is Ainsley Pears. And I know he's had pelters in past with some bad blunders he's made, but I don't think he's done much wrong for Rovers as well
He
since
made one
the
mistake.
cover of her Balashtor.
He made one. Made one bad mistake. I can't remember which game it was. But apart from
What
that,
since coming back?
yeah, I can't remember which
Which
game it
one?
was.
Which game were it? I don't
I
really
can't
see
remember.
any mistakes really that Pears has made. I
He
think he's
made the
been pretty
one.
solid.
But apart from that, he's been pretty solid for us.
Yeah, I think he knows that, like Mark already mentioned, haven't I, before in his pod. I
He's
think
got
he knows he's
competition out
got
in tow.
his place is at stake in it
Yeah,
being between the sticks for Rovers. It wasn't before for Pears, and obviously
no,
with Toth being absent as well. And if he comes back, he knows that, like, right, I need to really stay at the top of my game here, keep my
yeah,
concentration levels up, stay alert and everything. But he's also been a bit more assertive, more commanding in goal as well, from what I've seen with Pears. I think he's observed from what Toth does when he's been in goal while he's been sat on the bench as well to see what he does and see,
yeah,
what he's doing right, in goal as well. Not just like shot stopping and anticipating danger, but also organising the defence, being more commanding in the box as well. There are other things I've took note of with Pears as well. But another player that's worthy of mention as well, over the past two games in particular, is which you wanted to come back to, was Adam Forshaw.
yeah.
You know,
Really
I've been out.
made that position his own while Tramstad's out. He's looked good. He's looked
Yeah,
comfortable. He hasn't looked like he's lacking in terms of pace, and he's looked really up for it. Fair play to him.
yeah. And I have been. I think I'm not the only Rovers fan here, but I think we've all been a little bit critical of Adam Forshaw when we talk about
Oh yeah,
his age and his injury record. But what he's got in his locker, I'm actually pleasantly surprised to see and what he's still got to offer.
yeah,
Given at the age he is now, he's nearing the end of his career, isn't he?
exactly.
But I think in midfield, that experience, that calm and collected nature, but also
Yeah,
also comfortable in midfield to pass the ball, push the ball forward. I think he's another leader on the pitch as well, as for sure, from what I've
yeah.
seen. And like what you
He's
said,
got a
in Tronstad's
good
absence, he
experience,
has
hasn't
been
he?
that
So
lead. Yeah, but he's not the same midfield as Tronstad because
no,
he's more going forward than Tronstad. Tronstad's more protect the back line sort of midfielder, but they both have that leadership, to take command of that midfield and to be a bit more calm and collected. They help add composure to that midfield as well. Does Forshaw and Tronstad. I did think that Forshaw would probably work better with Montgomery there than Garner Hitman personally. I
okay,
think Forshaw can sit back a bit and Montgomery can do all the running. But I think Montgomery's better on the ball than Taylor Garner Hitman from
yeah,
what I've seen so far with Rovers. I think with his passing and the dribbling, I think he's neater and more composed than Garner Hitman. Garner Hitman can be a bit clumsy. I mean, he runs around like a
yeah.
headless chicken, doesn't he, Garner Hitman, when you see him play? And he can make some pretty rash challenges as well. But you can't fault his weight rate where
Oh no,
Taylor Garner Hitman's
exactly.
concerned, though. So, I mean,
So
Forshaw's definitely worthy of a mention, though. Given how many players have been injured, we've done all right, to be fair. But once we
yeah,
get a fully fit squad, I mean, there's something to get quite excited about.
I think that pretty much
So I
sums
think
everything up. Doesn't it?
that sums everything up. So, what are your thoughts and opinions on the games? What do you think? How many points do you think Rovers should have got in these last three games? Where do you think Rovers gone wrong? What do you think went right? And how do you think we'll do against Sheffield Wednesday? Let us know down below in the comment section. So, before we end, did you enjoy doing the pod, Liam?
Very much so.
Yeah, same here as
I
well.
noticed my background decided it didn't want to work anymore, so I had to improvise. But
It's
technical
going on
issues and all
strike.
that. It's first
It's
time
going on.
doing it. I will find it a way to make it work properly, but at least I've got something in the background now. So it's not just a plain wall.
It looks quite Christmassy, to be fair, though, from what you've
Well,
got on there.
that's the Hoth scene from Star Wars, which is what my tree will be theme wise. Star Wars related tree. There you go. Bit off topic, but there you go.
Right, so that's everything. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you next time with Totally
Cheers,
Rovers.
everybody.
Take care,
Thanks
everyone.
for watching.